everything was the same. I'm old enough to know better, young enough to not give a fuck. Rather hold my head high and die than live and duck. I gotta set it off, Jada, Queen, and Vivica. The last chick was scared to get that money, I can't live like her. Got no problem with you niggas, get it how you live it, bruh. It's a cold world, these mean streets will shiver ya. All I ask is for the same respect that I be giving ya. If not, my boy will put the beats on you, Karen Sylvia. That boy be on his shoe first, never mind the trivia. My advice, don't mess with his man, word to Nivea. We go back to when we got that white from Bolivia. We was candy shopping before 50 and Olivia. That's when you would go uptown, cause you had to read it. Everybody broke back then, you had to repair. Drug dealing was cool back then, you had to beware. That was the 90s, y'all wouldn't get it, you had to be there.
Good afternoon, this is your man, your go-to, the man wide open in the corner. Who did it? Who did it this time? Presenting to you another episode, another installment of the classic series, the Scouting Report. And on this specific episode, we are going to cover the go-to, the automatic, the check down,
Everything.
your go-to, what to look for, how do we cover the go-to, and lastly, how thankful we should be that we have a go-to. Now, some of us brothers can relate to having two go-tos, specifically if we was talking about a star-studded team, aka a super team in the NBA. Back in the 80s, it was the Sixers. In my day, it was Kobe and Shaq. It evolved to, the sucker in the Miami Heat, all the way to KD and the Warriors, and now KD and the Nets, and LeBron, the sucker, and the Lakers. I want to emphasize the importance of having the go-to, because obviously we'll cover the God with a capital G, that aspect of being your go-to. But on this side of earth, on this side of earth, as I said, this side, while you have the flesh pumping through your veins and you're still alive to observe. Some of you all might have been blessed to have a great mother, great father. A lot of my brothers grew up with their grandmother. Salute to them. Or great grandfather, great grandmother, an uncle, and so on. And if you never had none of them, my heart goes out to you. But the older you get, the more transformation in life that you're able to adjust to. Minor setbacks, job declines, stress from all different directions. You may meet a significant other, that special someone, who may have had their own bumps and bruises. They might have been on dysfunctional teams. But you know what, when they got with you, I'm talking to the men, you look in the mirror, you are a manifestation of that woman after a while, especially if you've been with her more than 2 to 3 years. We could blame their past, we could blame the man that they was with, we could blame their dysfunctional upbringing. Some of y'all can blame the sororities that they pledged to, or whatever single moms group, or strong black woman, strong independent woman, feminist. There's all kinds of excuses us men can make the reason why these things don't work. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to be the prize fighter, the star, the captain, the quarterback, the point guard, the alpha big dog, the center. So do you have a go-to? Do you have back in the day now, a Russell Westbrook to Kevin Durant, or vice versa? Do you have that Kobe Shaq comparison, where it's actually co-captains? They really were a co-captain team. Or do you have a significant other who doesn't mind playing the significant number 2 like a Scottie Pippen? Who we know now from evidence, Scottie might have been the best number 2 to ever play the game. You know why? He accepted it. And Mike shaped and molded him. And then, dare I say, when Mike left, the team did do a lot better than a lot of us thought. You know why? Because Mike trained that team and Scottie took it from there. And obviously, Phil Jackson was another go-to. In football, you could talk about the Rice and Montana connection. You could talk about Jim Kelly and Andre Reed. You could talk about Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman, the triplets. They had go-tos, these quarterbacks, that is. Mahomes is only as good as that O-line, but then, there's Tyreek Hill. Now they have Josh Gordon, by the way. Kelsey. For a while there, you had Dante Culpepper had Randy Moss. Terrell Owens, wherever he went, he was the go-to. Well, in life, who's your go-to, bro? Don't get me wrong. I've been blessed to have a great team, man. Some dudes I've been cool with now since 3rd grade, 4th grade. Some of y'all I met in middle school. Some of y'all I met in college. Some folks I met on here. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm gullible and, I'm easy to stare in with this information and, I'm just such a big fan. I'm not a fan of nobody. But your content says a lot about your character. And if it don't match up, don't you worry. It will get exposed in these last days. And that goes for me too, because I'm on this platform. With that being said, who's your go-to? I can name all my boys, man. And if we just talking street term, I can name all my niggas. But at the end of the day, a man told me you ain't going to bed with these dudes at night. Now, if some of y'all like to play both sides of the fence, to each his own. I'm just talking specifically for me. I ain't going to bed with none of my niggas. Unless he's on the other side of the suite or the other side of the hotel complex or resort. You catch my drift. Hey, man, yeah, it's good talking to you, but I need something soft to lay with, bro. That's the go-to. Now, if you have more than one honey, hey, man, I really salute you, so you understand what I'm saying. You have a couple go-tos, but just understand there's a difference between a concubine and a wife. Another video for another time. We sticking strictly to the significant other, that lioness. The one who don't mind going out getting the groceries, bringing it back, stuffing the shelves, putting it in the freezer and cooking and not saying ish to you. Also the one that is very grateful when you help. It has to be like a perfect Lego piece, i.e. the vagina area is, to our tool that goes in there. But that's another video for another time. This is why she was made. She is not to be denigrated. She is not to be placed below. But she is also not made to be our God. Another video for another time. I just want to make that abundantly clear. She's special to me. It's my job to kill for that. It's my job to make sure that she living right. And if she's not, she got to go. But she's the go-to. She is the Rice to my Montana. She is the Kobe to my Shaq, or the Shaq to my Kobe. She is the Scotty to my Mike. She is the Russ to my KD, or vice versa. And now Russ with whoever you want to plug in on that squad, or Kyrie with Kevin. I love that loyalty that I'm experiencing with that continuity on that Nets team. It's all entertainment. Am I starting to think this shit is like a soap opera? Indeed, I do. But metaphorically speaking, this ain't no homoerotic channel. Metaphorically, your woman is supposed to be your go-to teammate. You catch my drift. When stuff ain't going right in the locker room, i.e. the crib, it's okay to shut down and be quiet and let her leadership take over. It's temporary in this household. But god dang it, ain't nothing wrong with it. And then you can't be so chauvinistic and be out of balance, out of whack, that you're almost a caveman. Ooga ooga. Like, nah, man. Ain't none of that regime going in here. Everything is in balance and in order under the go-to. Under the team concept to win. You play to win the game. I.e. Herm Edwards. Shout out. Arizona State. Do your thing. But anyhow, as things progress and things get crazier in these last days, or in these days, understand the significance of men in the household. But we also have to start keeping it real. There's too much toxic femininity attacking us men, therefore causing the debacle of the nuclear family. That's why there's so many different genres of music and so many different genres of thought process. There's only two options, male or female. They was able to do that because we forgot to lock our fence in our households, in our hearts, in our minds, in our spirit. Lock the damn door, homie. Once she comes in here, I'm not going to say she's a possession, but she's an extension of me. She's the go-to. If you F with her, I got to come over and deal with you. I'll never forget. We was playing a team on the border of Ohio, man. Sharon Tigers. And we was the Tigers too, but that's another conversation. One of our linebackers got blasted, man. This is my senior year. And I went over and took the flag, you know what I mean? Like, I got the 15 yard because it was a message sent into that team. Nah, man, it's not to be effed with today. You hit him, you hit me. And as time went on, some of us would take 15-yard penalties, maybe John after the play. In basketball, maybe an elbow here and there, just to get our point across. Not to be dirty, but to send a message. You mess with him, you messing with me. Well, that extension is still to this day with my boys, man. I love the fellas from the crib. Y'all know who y'all are. But with my wife, it even goes even higher. I'm not supposed to keep going back and forth with no woman who I'm not sliding into or I didn't come out of. Or my intentions ain't to slide into. If you catch my drift. If my intentions is not to be with her sexually, I don't got no rap. It's not us towering down and kneeling to the masses. It's us being smart in these last days. They're out of order. They are. We know that. And they gonna pay a heinous crime for that. The punishment is eternity. Because they was out of order from day one. But if you're not righteous and you're not trying to follow no law, this message it left you about 6 minutes ago. With the ooga ooga. You just one of them chauvinistic dudes, or you one of them MacTow niggas who, you know, the black woman is God. Like, it's all out of order with you. So I'm not talking to you. This locker room speech ain't for you. The scouting report says how to look for that go-to. The eyes is zero end on them. And guess what? If you hurt them, you hurt the team. That's how it used to be on the playing field and on the hoop court. That's how it is in life. If she come back rattle and you don't know because you too busy on the PlayStation 5 or 4 or the box or your phone, social media junkie, shame on you. And vice versa, ladies. He's supposed to be the center, the point guard, the prize fighter. If you're not training him, feeding him, and giving him his needs that can help your household to be successful in a winning franchise, shame on you. And with that being said, I don't want to lose y'all. I don't want to lose you through these metaphors. I just felt like today I wanted to highlight my special someone, the Rib, and all of the other ladies out there that didn't work out with me. I mean, like, it goes deep, man. It cuts real deep. Because if I would have knew what I know now, maybe I wouldn't have some of these these crazy headaches, almost like CTE. Damn CTE. We need to talk about some of these long-lasted other headaches that we got that ain't from the physical, that's from the spiritual aspect and the mental and emotional, that we done hurt people and they done hurt us. Another video for another time. I love y'all. Be wise, be well. Zero in on your number one, and I really don't have to go on and make this much more long-winded. The other number one is the only one, the Most High. Malachi says it, ain't nothing next to me. God and God alone. He's a jealous God. Why's your God a jealous God? Because he made everything, including your stupid ass. And if the shoe fits, wear it. So that don't even go about saying that's the other go-to. If everything else fall, you better have a go-to in these last days, because the man in the mirror ain't cutting it. Unless you're some narcissistic bastard. Y'all take care. Love y'all. This is your man Who Did It this time, with another episode of the Scouting Report. And today we was highlighting on who's your go-to, who's your number one. Peace.